Welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. Yes, we're here to do the weekly forecasts. We do have these in the members hub ahead of the crowd, and we are live for the joint connection every Friday. Without further ado, let's get into the read. Now, I'm finding this week's read really juicy, and it does appear to be, we look at the belief systems of when we're in a karmic relationship, especially if this is an individual that is in a karmic relationship, we tend to get to the end of each year, and although we're in the new year, we have these thought processes when we're in a commitment, any sort of commitment, and it's like, okay, well, gee, we thought we were going to be somewhere else. It's Christmas, we'll do it for the tribe. It's New Year's, we're here now. What I'm seeing coming through with this read could particularly be for those that are in karmic relationships. I do feel particularly, regardless of whether this person is in a karmic relationship right now, there's something at an emotional level that they physically feel they are not resonating with right now. We have yin as the crowning energy in reverse. It's almost like the acceptance, the disillusionment, the thing that's really crowning this person's mind is somebody who they're with that is not matching, or something that was supposed to be an emotional enjoyment, and it's just not there. I feel there's a bit of frustration, especially when I do look to the foundation of this situation. The foundation, we're just going to jump right to the bottom. They're really looking at this from a foundation level of it is time to go. Like, it's time to do something. And this is an emotional, intelligent individual here that is looking as above, as below of, okay, I realize my reality, but I physically have a 3D circumstance going on where maybe the road isn't completely clear. And this was really going to happen to a lot of us within our own personal masculine energy this month, due to the fact that we have Mercury retrograde. We have Mars in Gemini that is retrograde till about mid-month. And then things are suddenly going to kind of move very quickly. So if you are feeling a little bit like a deer in the woods in January 2023, it's perfectly normal, because it's almost like you've got options, but you can't see the hay for the clouds. Okay, from a spiritual point of view, they feel it's time to go towards you. I'm noticing that time to go wraps down to a 9, and it's a very spiritual energy. It's like, almost like going into hermit mode, needing to reflect in their minds, very, what would the word be? It's almost like that hermit card, but it's deep depression. It's like from an emotional point of view, realizing that something isn't working, that they've got to be on their A game, but something hasn't been wrapped up. And they're also having this deep revelation inside their own personal power, which I think is a very healthy thing. And we have the leg up. Now, the leg up can be where somebody gives us a hand, and it's like, it's almost like we're out in the cold and nobody is to help us. But it can be revelations where maybe those that were in karmic relationships are having revelations that a pain body experience was there prior to being in this connection, and that the solution is never another person. The solution is actually, having a revelation that only you can solve it, having a revelation that something isn't for you, but also not wanting to, the art of appreciation. Gee, I didn't know what I had when I had it. So there's something that is stuck, and it feels as though this time to have a nap, it's like, it can be a lot of guilt and anger. Gee, what was I doing? What was I thinking? I'm going to pull a clarifier, because I'm getting this vibe that they do in their home environment. I'm noticing there's a fox in the moon. They're having to meditate upon the best course of action with this thing. They do feel some of it is divinely guided. What do I mean by that? It's like forces of nature. They can't describe this connection to the divine feminine and to their own emotional feeling, but their own emotional feeling is what is guiding them. And it's not from a codependent point of view. It's very much, okay, this is circumstance playing out right now. I need to find a solution to this problem. I acknowledge the fact that there is a problem, but I need to meditate upon this. This can be for those in karmic relationships. For some, it could be that a karmic is really pressuring them into a marriage. Others, it's just a joint connection. It's a joint contract or a joint connection. And it's also somewhere they're wanting to go. And I'm feeling this is in relation to feminine. It's always a positive thing, when we are in a circumstance and it shows us something we just don't want, because what it does show is what we do want. Okay, there also could be a circumstance. We have the doctor here. And again, I can't give you medical advice, but this is a circumstance where for some it could be a connection, a contract, so a contract they have. It's something to do with healing. This could be a family member that maybe they're concerned about. This could be a circumstance that is coming in between, the connection. Let's move further up. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, what are they moving away from? I think some of them are actually moving home. Yeah, it's like something. There you go. No place like home. And I'm hearing Dorothy, clicking the feet and getting to a place where they didn't feel at home in themselves, but they're having a revelation that they need to move away from an environment. This can be a disconnection, something changing within family. And they're not just thinking about the here and now, they're thinking about the future. So ultimately, even if something isn't working, this can be within a tribe, a family, it could be within a karmic relationship. I am saying from the top row here, their reality sense of what their actions are is that they know that they can't just think about the here and now. And sometimes this can be where, say, we're in a connection and we're looking back and we're very nostalgic and it was like, it was really good. But what is here right now is not what is so. This does make sense. Mercury retrograde brings about those old traditions, especially in the house of Capricorn. And so I was not surprised for many, that they were really stuck stagnant inside this karmic relationship. But Jupiter and Aries moving forward, I'm seeing that they're realizing, look, I need to look at the bigger picture. There's this pressure point like a vice coming up. They're not feeling emotionally invested. They might have been doing something through integrity. But it's odd that the fortune cookies here, because they feel, something, it's like akin to surprise, something coming out. They're kind of having this revelation. This is not going to go well. And they're almost worried. They're kind of saying to themselves, well, gee, if this is what it is now, what the heck is it going to be later? It feels tumultuous, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm hearing the term picking a side, and it's, sixes can be to do with wellness. It can be to do with health. It can be to do with the mundane. For some, I see like a change in job. For some, I see them looking at, again, the Jupiter energy, the bigger picture, not just the here and now. And Jupiter really can link to marriage. So, spiritual contracts are really going to come up at the moment, and it's where divine masculine are going to be, I would say easy for the next 6 months, looking at the element of marriage, looking at the element of who they are, what their position is, what their belief systems relating to contracts are, and the term forever. And I just don't think they're looking at just the here and now any longer. I think they're really looking at the big picture. Chop wood. What do we need to know about this place? We've got the broomstick, and it's in reverse. It reminds me of Mickey Mouse and the tower, going up and trying to do something the easy way. If you remember back to the Walt Disney Mickey Mouse being the magician, and, you know, he's casting his wand and he's got all these brooms, and suddenly they're taking pails of water up to the top, you know, his chores of what he's supposed to do. And it goes out of control. And he ends up chopping the broomstick, and it turns into millions of brooms, and it makes the situation worse. Okay, so this is in relation to a karmic. He's like, look, you know, okay, some of you sometimes do ask this question, or I know I did 100%, is if they cut this individual out, is there going to be another karmic? Look, if this person has really learned their lesson, and I think something that has been showing them, there is these habits we form in twin flame path, and we don't know it. But there are stages, you know, and I feel these individuals coming through in the read today is to do with where we have been aiding other people to the detriment of our own health. And it's not to say that we shouldn't help, okay? But it is to say that, you know, there's always an end point. Where particularly if we are helping other individuals above ourselves, placing other individuals always above ourselves, it does take a toll, and it does reach its end cycle. I do feel this karmic individual, for those in a karmic relationship, it's not a romantic connection any longer. It's funny because this card that I have pulled as a clarifier is very Pluto in nature, and it's to do with, you know, and Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius, ironically enough. So this is an ending point. This is like something's coming to a head, and I just really see this. This could be an older relative. This could be a person, a cycle, you know, a situation that hasn't wrapped up. And I do see it wrapping up very quickly because I feel this person under immense pressure. I feel them to be very stressed through this process. Yeah, never-ending story. We're looking at this, and they don't look. There's, as far as they're concerned, it's not about I'm going to do this forever. It's more I can't do this any longer. I don't know why I heard the term Jack in a Box. Like, they do really feel if this is where it is now, imagine what it's going to be later. Yeah, something's coming to a close. Some chapter here is coming to a close, and I feel it's them taking direct action, or universe is coming in, because we do have the higher power here at the foundation. So for some, it could be that a tribe member is transcending over. For others, it can be that there is a circumstance, you know, and this could be their emotional sense where they're physically feeling emotionally, I can't do this anymore, it's too much. But we do have never-ending story here. And we do have the widower coming up. So something is physically coming to an end. And I feel the chopped wood energy. Sometimes we tend to not own our power, and it gets cut out regardless. And this could simply be a circumstance that's completely out of their control. You know, we're not Gaia. So some of these things, yes, nature does take its course, and it directly happens to us, for us. Others, I do feel that it is that they're looking at this, and they could have already cut this person out, but they just haven't put their foot out the door. There's unhappiness here that they are acknowledging, especially with yin as the crowning energy. They're acknowledging the fact that they're not happy. There is guilt relating to divine feminine. I'm hearing the term that they give you credit, but they also know that's not fair. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes they do look at you as extremely strong. They almost look at you as the masculine. But they're also realizing that that's unfair because of what they've been through themselves. They are empathizing, understanding, and feeling that is unjust, that is unfair. And they feel it's for them to be that high energy and also go through similar things that you went through. They're not happy that they hurt you. They're not happy. Like, they don't, yeah, they're not happy. Okay, there was some They feel they're in between a rock and a hard place. We're having serendipity here, and it is they're seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities. Again, the card drops down to a 9 with the clover leaf. I feel something is coming their way to aid them. I do feel some of their plans that they're making, yeah, you're coming into their dream state. You are, you guys might cross paths, but they're having this deja vu. They're having this serendipity. It feels as though it's like the art of appreciation. Something is going to help them. So it's almost like a block is getting moved from their path. I feel as though, okay, we have the to be fair below the masculine's face. Okay. For some, if they are dealing with the situation where this person is not well, and when I say unwell, it doesn't have to be illness. It could be, how would I say it? Inabilities to fend for themselves in some shape or form, because it could be an elderly relative. It could be a child situation. But they're honouring a commitment in a sense, in a way, but they're also honouring you. And I know this sounds strange. Hear me out. They're perplexed by a situation because this is a physical belief system. It doesn't have to be. It's a natural society standard. It's like, many times when we have to face a karmic test, we have to close that cycle. It's almost like universe imprisons us in a circumstance to learn a lesson so that we close it out. We own our power and we never make that mistake again. And I don't necessarily feel they're mistakes. I feel they're lessons. They also feel it's unfair for you to be waiting on the sideline. They feel they should have left prior to Christmas. They feel they've given this individual a fakeness of what's going to be. They feel they could have damaged the twin flame path further. But they also did not want you to feel used. Let me put it that way. They feel that they've placed themselves in some odd situation that could put the connection with you and them in danger. And so this is creating an urgency for them to address it. And I feel they're stepping back. So something they've done in the last few weeks, they kind of feel as though if they don't hurry up, they snooze, they lose. But this is causing a lot of stress. But the one thing is, if this is guilt relating to sticking around for Christmas and New Year's, I feel that where they stand right now, and this, I don't know why I'm having a birthday, this is now shadow work that they're doing. And this shadow work, how can I explain it? What are they showing me? It's making the move quicker. Okay, so even if this is paranoid, oh my gosh, my divine feminine is going to move with someone. Oh my gosh, how is this going to go? How am I going to deal with all of these things? That pressure point, that vice is showing them what they aren't invested in. I will check back with you next week. We will have these out in the Members Hub. Take care, beautifuls. If you want a private reading, you can go to the link directly below. Otherwise, I'll see you for the joint connection on Fridays.